Do you want to go flying today?
Yeah,
You're gonna go flying really far today?
it sounds fun. It does. I was dreaming about it all night.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
This will be the longest flight we've ever been on.
I dreamed about other things too.
We should get coffee on the road.
I agree.
Throughout Jesse's life, he thought it'd be cool to learn how to fly an airplane. 1, because it sounded fun, and 2, because it could open up a world of opportunities. Last winter, he decided to bite the bullet, enroll in ground school, and began the path to getting his private pilot's license. For those of you that might be new to our journey, a few years ago we quit our lives in the city, bought bare property in the mountains of Idaho, and recently began building a home from scratch, debt-free, doing most of the work ourselves with no prior experience. Needless to say, taking on getting a private pilot's license during this time is a huge undertaking, but Jesse's been chipping away at it in every free moment, sometimes having to get creative to get flying time in. Today, I get to go along for the ride for his very first cross-country flight. So here's hoping today's the beginning of a new chapter of Jesse training to become a private pilot.
Oh no, there's a line at the coffee shop. What are we gonna
behind
do?
the silver car. Drive like a Californian.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have
Thank you.
fun, guys.
See ya.
Jesse said I can have coffee on the airplane. Yes, I've never brought coffee before, but it's gonna make the flight that much better.
You don't have to go through TSA either,
No.
unless you want to.
I can bring my own liquids on the plane and through the airport.
We can give you a TSA-like experience if you want
I'll
to.
pass. I think I'm good. Are you nervous?
No, I'm excited. Pretty stoked.
Supposed to deer cross country like 2 weeks ago.
This is what I've been trying to get flying for, I think. His ability to travel and do things.
If Jesse does well today, then his instructor will sign him off and he can cross country alone. That doesn't mean fly like all the way to Florida.
That is
But
good.
you know, he can fly around on his
Yeah.
own. And the bottleneck right now is that there's a lot of students and one instructor. So
Yep.
getting flight time is challenging, especially with the weather.
Well, and then fire season's coming, and then our instructor has to leave several times, so the amount of time available for instructor dual is very limited, and I need to get free so I can just go fly and learn. I mean, I want to be ready, but I want to, that way I'm not tied to him for a lot of my flight time, and then I can build time, and then it's time to get ready for the check ride. So it'd be good if that happened today.
The goal of this flight was to hit 3 different airports, the first being a pretty small airport not too far away. As a passenger, I didn't really know what to expect, but I was looking forward to not practicing things that makes passengers feel nauseous. It was crazy to see where everything was in relation to each other. Things can look totally different from the air for those of us that are spatially challenged. Little did we realize that it was one of the first nice flying days of the season, so everyone and their mom was in the air. We came upon this sleepy little airport and there were 2 other planes trying to land, which we totally didn't expect. So in addition to listening to radio communications, we started playing Find the Planes, which was a little unsettling to me. I also learned that planes without radios can fly into this airport, called NORADs. You know, no radios. Next on the agenda was a towered airport. Kind of a big deal for new pilots as I understand. Potentially a lot more planes, managing a lot more at once, and communicating with air traffic control. Radio communication can be quick, and I quickly learned the value of being a future co-pilot, so to speak, having someone else with a set of ears. But Jesse's instructor also shared that you can announce yourself as a student pilot, and sometimes air traffic control will slow down a bit, give additional instruction, and be more patient. While Phelps Field is a busy airport, it's not nearly as big or as huge as Spokane International. So in a way, that's the beauty of having a pilot in the family, is so you can fly into less busy airports, even a lot closer to home or your destination. That's one reason I was along for the ride today, simply to see what it's like to jump in a car, drive a few miles to our local airport, and fly to an airport of our choice. I'll just say that I can see the appeal.
So when you saw the airport,
Well,
it's like,
it
oh my
popped over the
goodness,
hill.
bam,
It's
there
like
it
right
is.
behind the hill,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then now it's like, oh my goodness, I got to turn.
I need to go through this. I have to go through this to get the experience.
Right? Yep.
And every time you go to a new airport, it's going to feel this way. I don't
It
care
is.
who you are. I mean, no matter how many times you land at Phelps Field, as soon as you go to Pullman, it's going to be a different everything.
Break time.
Break time! Tap out, tap out!
Places started to get busy.
It's probably a little easier to get in and out of than international over there, so people probably prefer this.
Turn a lot of low lead. You have to take the GCP.
What do you think?
I'm glad we're making this flight. It's definitely a little overwhelming, but not
Yeah.
like horrible just because I have no idea where I am, but that's good.
It's very different than flying locally.
Oh, very different, yeah. High, fast, like fast.
For people watching these videos, it's a totally different experience flying into places like this. Like you just get out, there's toothbrushes in the bathroom, coffee.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Aviation is that way usually, except for in the middle of nowhere, North Dakota. I'm sure it's like a raggedy old sofa and a used
But those are probably the
toothbrush.
best places to
Those
stop.
are probably the best places to stop because the people are friendly. Yeah. Yeah, this has been fascinating. Like, I don't know. It's been good for me to just download all
Yeah.
this stuff. I don't know.
I have a lot to learn to be a good co-pilot.
Yeah, and I have a lot to learn for sure, but I look forward to doing this more. I think this is probably how we'll use flying,
Yeah.
mostly. We'll do some
Do you
local
think
stuff,
Dave's
but
gonna give you the thumbs up to do this on your own? No?
I don't think so. I wouldn't. But he said I was ready to solo long
Yeah.
before I was ready to solo, so I would say no. Not going to happen. We're not going to get very high going to Coeur d'Alene, but we're putting the highest altitude in there, so we'll probably fly 5,500 again going home.
Yeah, I mean, there's a video at the airport. What he's going to say to us,
You have managed to avoid the camera this morning. Do you want to A, walk home, B, call a taxi, or C, fly with us?
Or hitchhike.
Or 4, hitchhike? What's your choice?
I'll fly.
You're gonna fly?
Yeah. It's
Yes.
not, it's not that bad.
Not
I'm
that
having
bad.
Fun.
Oh, good. I like to hear that. Let's fly. Field to Coeur d'Alene. Time en route's 21 minutes. Nope. 21 miles, 16 minutes.
I was going to say, it seems a bit long, but yeah.
On the way home, I took the time to take in the beautiful scenery that surrounds us. We talked with Jesse's instructor a bit about seeing wildlife from the plane, as many aviation contracts and jobs here revolve around wildlife tracking, such as counting fish, following herds of elk, caribou, wolves, and even migratory birds. Pretty cool stuff. Little did I know that this entire flight home, Jesse was flying under the hood, which means he has goggles on that blocks his vision out the window so that he has to fly using his instruments. This isn't really an enjoyable experience, but clearly it's good to do nonetheless. Part of the challenge Jesse said about being a student is that you're constantly in learning mode, which is great. Learning is great, but you rarely get to just fly and enjoy the experience. You're always practicing these scenarios for the what-ifs that might arise as a pilot. This is partially why I don't go on many of his flights, because it's generally stuff that the person in the back seat has a hard time stomaching. So at this point, it's hard to answer the question, do we enjoy aviation and the ability for Jesse to be able to fly a plane? Because we don't really know what it's like yet. But there's only one way to find out, and that's by going through the process of getting his license and then taking some planes for a test drive. We may or may not be scheming what our first long trip will be to truly take off the training wheels and try on the lifestyle. But until then, more practice and preparing for his check ride.
Not a bad day.
Yeah.
Not a bad day.
Thanks for chauffeuring me around.
You bet. You bet.
Ready for food and a nap? What do you think now? Do you think you'll get the okay?
I don't know.
You wouldn't go alone, right?
No, I'm not ready. No way.
3.2, and then we should have cross country too. So all this would be cross country.
Well, apparently the power guys are at our house installing our power right now, despite calling them off the hook, asking if they would pretty please call us like the day before, or 2 days before.
We'll call you 2 days. 2 days ahead of time, they said. 2 days. We'll
So,
call you.
unfortunately, you guys are going to miss out on that excitement, as are we.
Apparently, I don't know what they're doing. Guess we'll just show up, figure it out. I don't know. Maybe you should call them and chew them out.
Ready, Freddie?
Mm-hmm. Get out of here.
This is why you don't film while your hands are full. Well, flying went well. I'm really happy that I had the opportunity to go. I actually haven't just flown in a plane with Jesse, so today was fun. I think it gave me and Jesse a much more realistic idea of what flying could be like. Flying to different airports, actually traveling some distance, and I have to say that we got where we were going really, really quickly. I'm really excited to see how this continues to play into our life, and I think the possibilities are endless.
You know why we had to get back home? So I could finish my coffee.
Right?
Barely even touched it. Screwed that
So
up.
we're getting our power installed like right this second. I feel slightly nauseous. I'm really hungry, and we have an important phone call in 20 minutes. So I don't know that we're going straight home.
Typical. Go, 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 go. Let's go build a house, get power, do business, make money, sleep. Meh.
Oh, they put a new
Apparently
pole in
we got a
already.
new pull in already.